Have you ever wondered what happens behind the scenes at your favorite amusement park? Well, one of many perks that you have as an ACE member are opportunities to get a little peek behind the curtain. Hashtag not sponsored. Well, I got to experience one of these tours firsthand during CoasterCon 46 at California's Great America last summer. The park operations tour gave us an in-depth look at the park's maintenance road, the park operations offices, the sign shop, and more. We also got a lights-on tour of some of the park's old haunts. Although I wasn't able to film everything I experienced on this journey, I am going to share all of the clips that I was able to capture and talk about everything that I learned in this video. So without any further ado, let the behind-the-scenes adventures begin. So, I was the only one from my Canadian crew who signed up for this tour. So to start, I made my way from the back of the park to our meeting place near Rue Le Dodge. The first thing we got to learn about was the park's main arterial road that runs through the center of the park. This is a unique design for a theme park, as service roads at most other parks will encircle the perimeter. However, the design seen here at California's Great America, as well as its sister park, Six Flags Great America, allows goods and people to travel uninterrupted through the park's interior. It just makes things super efficient and easy for everyone. And of course, it also gave us a unique perspective of Patriot, the park's floorless coaster. Alright, so right now we're actually going into the park operations building, which is pretty cool. So I guess we're really going to be able to see behind the scenes on this tour. I wasn't allowed to film much inside the building, but we got to peek into the offices of some of the higher-ups. We also got to meet and chat with the park president, and we learned some interesting things during that conversation. As we all know, news broke in June of 2022 that Cedar Fair sold the land on which the park sits to the San Francisco-based company Prologis for a price tag of $310 million. This deal allowed Cedar Fair to continue to operate the park on a lease that is up for renewal in 2026, with an option to extend that lease until 2033. But in any case, the park was given an effective expiration date and was set to permanently close at some point within the next 10 years. Naturally, this elephant in the room was inevitably mentioned by someone on the tour, but what the park president said next seemed to suggest that the park wasn't closing down after all. The sale of the land to Prologis ensured that the company wouldn't have to lay off any of its employees during the pandemic. And although the lease is up for renewal in 2026, Cedar Fair and California's Great America fully intend to keep the park going, even beyond 2033. That sounded promising at the time, but of course, there was still a lot of uncertainty surrounding both the upcoming lease renewal and the impending merger with Six Flags that has since been finalized. And I think a lot has changed since then. Earlier this year, CGA canceled all of their seasonal events and shortened the 2025 season overall, which doesn't look like business as usual to me. Although the park hasn't given any official updates on the status of the park closure since 2022, besides what we were told during the tour, I honestly don't think it's looking good. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the park ends up closing sooner than we expected. But I suppose only time will tell. In lighter news, we continued our tour down the arterial road until we arrived at the first aid building, and got some awesome views of Railblazer that the general public usually doesn't get to see. From there, we got to do a lights-on tour of one of the park's old haunts, Madame Marie's Midnight Masquerade. California's Great America hasn't done Halloween Haunt since 2021, instead opting for the more family-friendly Tricks and Treats festivals until all of the events were cancelled at the end of the 2024 season. But a few of the haunts are still fully intact, as if they could be reactivated at any time.
This one is probably one of our most popular, so we really wanted to keep it. But we've adjusted the layout, done a lot of different things with it. This is cool.
Been there. Me too.
Yeah, I feel you, honey.
After that, we continued to the back of the park where we got to see inside the sign shop. Again, we weren't allowed to film in there either, but we did get to see some of the pieces they were working on, like the alligator figures that they used for Mardi Gras.
Throughout the park, kind of reminders of what used to be.
When did they take that out?
2000.
2000?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who took it out? Was it?
The last part of the tour brought us inside the HR building, where we learned about how they onboard and certify new hires. Overall, it was a very interesting tour, and we definitely learned a lot. Now, the park also opened another one of their haunts for a Lights on tour that all CoasterCon members were able to explore later in the afternoon, so we're going to end off this video with that. Hope you all enjoyed coming along for this tour with me, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and become a subscriber if you don't want to miss any of my future videos. And until next time, the adventures are calling. Bye!
No! No, don't you even think of it.
Love you, Amanda.
I didn't say anything about him scaring you.
You never said anything about me, you just told Paul not to.
Guys, if you guys make me do what we did at no or whatever, I will literally.
This is just a preview of Epic Universe.
English try.
Oh, there's the scariest one in here.
See, there's even amazing.
My favorite.
Yeah?